And that brings us to the next topic is Aljo versus Sean O'Malley at August 19th in Boston. I mean, Aljo, I think this fight could go like one of the three ways. I mean, I see it either Sean O'Malley, because I feel like Sean O'Malley's stand up is very dangerous. He's going to be a lot longer. He's got 4-inch height advantage, reach only an inch or so, but leg reach, it seems like only an inch. Aljo is pretty long for his height and that weight. But Sean O'Malley, I mean, he's huge. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much weight he cuts. He said he don't cut much, maybe like 20, 25 pounds. I don't know. It seems like a lot to me, but I don't know what he walks around at. He seems a little thinner, but he definitely has some power. And on the feet, O'Malley, that's, like I said, that's the one way I could see this fight going, is O'Malley TKOing Aljo, hurting him on the feet, rocking him, and then just Aljo not being able to get the takedown that he needs, or the control, which, you know, we've seen Aljo get hurt before and stuff happen. We've seen him get knocked out like quick, you know, or something like that. And that'd probably be the best bet for O'Malley. I think the first or second round, maybe, you know, before Aljo can get to him and start gassing out his arms and just putting a pace on O'Malley with the grappling exchanges that could hurt O'Malley. O'Malley, I believe, is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. So, I mean, and he's long. So, I mean, he's could be tricky, you know, if he's off his back, throwing up submissions and doing stuff. But if he gives up his back against Aljo's showing that he probably has, if not one of the best, if not the best backpack, you know, games in UFC, in MMA period, in fighting. Like when he gets your back, it's usually done. I mean, it's only a matter of a time. He's really good at it, and he's great at getting to that position. He wrestled college, you know, has extensive, his jiu-jitsu, like he's been able to, you know, he's able to transition and incorporate both of them together, wrestling and jiu-jitsu, better than a lot of people. And I think that's due to his camp. I mean, he's at Ray Longo's gym. He's got Matt Serra. He's got all these guys there training with a training partner. Number one guy is probably Marab, who's we'll talk about in a bit. But, you know, we got Marab, we got these guys, all these insane pace. You know, Aljo's going to be jacked, cutting 30 pounds, already looks shredded. You know, he's going to go in there with probably a strength advantage besides just the grappling. You know, I mean, mostly grappling-wise, I would think power advantage as far as on the feet definitely has to go to O'Malley. Like I said, he's tricky in there. I like his feint game. You know, he's long, like I said, and he's not afraid to pull the trigger, but he might be if he's that fearful of Aljo's takedown game, man. It's an interesting matchup. Like, so one way I could see O'Malley, he'd have to TKO, I think, Aljo. I don't think he wins a decision there because Aljo is going to get takedowns. There's no way he's not, unless Sean O'Malley just blasts him and, you know, and does something crazy and just really shored up his takedown defense. But the other way is I would say Aljo winning a decision. I think that's likely. 5 rounds is a long time, though. If he does get that backpack position, it might be really hard for Sean O'Malley to survive 5 rounds of that, or just for long periods of time with Aljo on your back. It might not be good for him. So I think that's also very telling in this fight. What happens, like Aljo gets that takedown immediately, it could be a wrap. If he gets his back, for sure it's probably a wrap. I mean, so that's the third way I see Aljo winning. I don't see him TKOing O'Malley or anything like that. I feel like it'll be a first or second round rear naked choke. He's going to get that backpack and he's going to end up choking him. So, I mean, that's the one thing. I don't see him doing it in the later rounds as possible. You know, I think just anytime Aljo's going to be on his back is going to be like super dangerous. And that's my take on the fight so far. I mean, like I said, I like O'Malley. I like to see him do well. I mean, he has a good record himself, only 1 loss. You know, did well against Peter Yan. Like that fight could have went either way. A lot of people thought Yan won the fight, but O'Malley showed a lot of toughness and heart and was able to survive ground and pound, which I don't know if Aljo's going to bring the same ground and pound as more as he's going to be trying to hold position more to try to improve his position to the back take. And so who knows? He might use ground and pound to get there. You know, if O'Malley's just got to not give up his back, you know, and if he could stay in guard and just make Aljo work, then who knows? I mean, both of you guys got pretty good gas tanks. I don't see Aljo gas very often. He did a little bit in the first fight against Yan, but he was taking a lot of damage as well. So, and Sean O'Malley showed that he could even stand up with Peter Yan, which everyone thought was pretty much the best striker in the division. And you got O'Malley kind of landing a lot of damage on Yan. So, I mean, I could see if damage trumps all, you could give that fight to O'Malley. You know, it was close. it was either 2-1 either way, so it wasn't like total domination by both guys. They both had moments, but O'Malley did put a lot of damage out there on Jan whenever he did land. So we'll see what happens with that fight. I'm interested in that one. That's going to be a good one. And